Sorry, I just realised that I hadn't done something in a different reading. Anyway, never mind. Okay. So I think the energies are very confrontational for November for a lot of signs. There's a couple that are getting good readings, but the majority of people are having pretty hard root core readings. So don't feel bad. Not that it's going to be that bad, but I just intuitively get the feeling, as well as dealing with the cards, looking at the cards, that there's a bit of unrest, shall we say? Oh, I'm going to take them. Oh, good, some good ones. Okay, good. Oh, well, there we go. So it's all looking good for the end, you'll be pleased to know. So I'll show you the cards. I just need to move things, I might need to move things around a little bit so you can see. Oh no, that's pretty. This way. There we go. Just move all that in. Okay. So your first card, the central issue is the Five of Swords reversed. So there has been a situation, I think, whereby you have been, where you've been trying to get the upper hand, or somebody has been trying to get the upper hand. I feel like there has been, in the past, you've got the Knight of Pentacles reversed. So this could be an earth sign, if you're dealing with an earth sign, which is showing as in the reverse. So obviously not a great position for it to be in. But if it's not an earth sign person, it's somebody who has earth sign qualities, which are loyalty, dependability, quite slow moving, sees, checks everything out before they make any moves. Can be quite boring, to be honest. And when it's reversed, it does mean that there's no movement, absolutely no movement. So a situation has been pretty stuck, potentially with, you've got all the signs here apart from fire. So it could potentially be with an air sign, with another water sign, or with an earth sign. But the situation, whatever it may be, has been very slow moving up till now, and I do get quite a bored, mundane feeling, where things are not moving as fast as you would like them to. So with the Five of Swords being reversed, I think you are I kind of get the feeling that you've given up a little bit, or somebody has given up the fight for something. And sometimes that can be a good thing. It means that you're putting down your, you want to come to an amicable solution, but I don't feel that in this situation. What I feel is it's more that you're giving up, that you are, you're giving up on somebody, you're giving up on some situation. What you've got crossing you is the King of Swords reversed. So your challenge, is, if you're dealing with an air sign, the King of Swords reversed is not a nice character. And so you could have, it could be that you're just giving up fighting this person. You're stuck, you can't see any way out with them. Crowning, you've got the Seven of Wands, that's about defending yourself. But this is what you're thinking about. So you want to defend yourself, you're thinking about defending yourself. But I get the feeling that you don't feel in a position to be able to do that, even though that's what you want to do. So the King of Swords, if it's not a person that you're dealing with, it's an energy, and this energy is thinking with your head, with your heart, and not your head. It's making decisions based on how you feel rather than the logical outcome. So just be careful of that a little bit in November, because I feel like that isn't the right way to go. In your environment, you've got this Knight of Swords, and that is somebody who is rushing in. So this is a fast-moving energy. So if things have been stuck, I think they are moving forward in some way, but not in a way that communication is going to be moving forward, but not in the way that you're hoping for. It's going to be rash and rushed and hurried, and I think maybe because it's been on hold for so long, or there's been this period of stagnation, I feel like almost like an elastic band that's been held in a position for so long, and or an archery bow, and somebody's just going, right, okay, this is the picture I'm getting in my head. It's like you waiting to release this arrow or this elastic band to get things going, and then when you release it, because you've been holding it for so long, it just springs forward too fast. That's kind of what I'm getting, and you're going to rush into things without actually thinking about them, because you're feeling so like you need to move. But I think you see yourself as just not being ready, not being in a position. I don't know whether that's financially not in a position to move ahead with this situation. Could be that you want to move in with somebody because your hopes are the Four of Wands, and that is about stability. And so maybe you've been waiting for this person to move on to the next level, and you wanting to defend your thoughts and your ideas to them. But because you're doing it, because you're rushing into you wanting to rush into it, and you've waited for so long, your thoughts are becoming muddled, I think. And I think that you are not going to be able to communicate them in the way that you want to communicate them. The Knight of Cups in your immediate future which is reversed. So what that's saying to me is that an offer, if it is about an offer, or it is something that you're waiting for, an offer to come through, or an offer of love, or you're waiting to offer this, that you don't rush into it, because or you are rushing into it, and the offer is not initially going to be accepted, or alternatively, the person that you're dealing with is going to become quite flaky. So they are going to, or you, it could be you, but I don't get that impression. I think you're wanting a deeper commitment from somebody, and I think that because you rush into it, they become quite flaky, and they kind of, I think there is going to be an element of backing away, or it's going to feel like this person is backing away. Or it's going to feel like they reject the offer. I mean, we'll get more clarity when we do the extended reading. Obviously, I'm going to pull clarifying cards so we can get a better idea, of all of these cards. But I'm interested to know why you feel like you haven't got the capability. Maybe it's that you're wanting to move in with somebody, but you haven't got the deposit, or you haven't got the wherewithal currently, or you don't feel confident enough in your own ability to move it forward. The Magician reversed is how they see you. So again, that is about not being able to manifest. So maybe it's that you are promising somebody something, or you are wanting a promise, but you haven't got anything to back it up. It feels like you want this situation to develop, but there's something that's blocking you from doing it, and it's either making you come across quite flaky, or it's making the other person pull away from you, or it will make the other person pull away from you, or you them. Like I say, your hopes, you've got the Four of Wands, which is about, you want stability, you want this situation to be stable, and you're willing to fight for it. You are willing to fight for it, but I just think that the way that you're fighting for it is maybe a bit too rushy, trying to rush into things. You're not thinking about how you're speaking. You're thinking with your head, your heart, and not your head. And they could also feel a little bit like you're manipulating them into getting what you want. Just be careful of that. Don't manipulate somebody to get the outcome. Even if they do want the outcome, people have different timelines as to when they feel comfortable with doing things. But coming up, you've got brilliant cards. You've got the Four of Pentacles reversed, which I always prefer in the reverse. You've got the Chariot, and you've got the Fool. So these are major arcana. These are big energies. The Chariot and the Fool are brilliant. So there is going to be, after this period of maybe it looking like things are not working out, things are going to start moving forward. So the Chariot can also be about travel. It can be about, you know, moving towards your goal. So you are going to be making steps towards your goal. But I think that you are going to have to lose some of your ideas. This feels to me like ideas, or it could be that you're going to have to use some savings, or you're going to have to invest more than you would like to in the situation, or that you are having to let down, be less stubborn about something, or the other person is going to become less stubborn about it, and it is going to lead to a moving forward of the situation. But there is going to be an element of taking a leap of faith. So whether that's you or the other person, it could also be a Cancer that you're dealing with, but there's going to need to be some sort of leap of faith, some trust put in the situation. But when you make that decision, when these issues that we've discussed are overcome, which they will be, and we'll find out in the extended how that's going to happen. But once they're overcome, then there is going to be this moving forward. And whereas this feels very out of control, feels like you haven't got control of the situation, this feels like you know that it's a leap of faith. You know that it's you're taking a risk, some risks. You know, both of these are about taking risks. So there is risk going to have to be taken, but it feels a lot more calculated. It feels a lot more solid. It feels like you balance it. You know, in order to balance this Chariot, to get it to move forward, you have to balance both sides. So you're going to start thinking with your head again, I feel. You know, you're going to have to look at the practicalities of things rather than just what you want to happen. You're going to have to look at the practicalities. And once you do that, you know, things are going to move forward how you want them to. Let me see, what else can I see with this? No, I think that's it for the overall. Until we get a bit more clarity from the cards about what, you know, what else we need to know, then I think that is it. So thank you, Pisces, for joining me on YouTube, and I hope that you come over to Vimeo for the extended reading. But if not, please do have a lovely November, and I will see you again in December. Take care.